Hi guys, coming to you today to tell you about two new classes that I have coming beginning December the 1st actually, and running right the way through to the end of next year. Yes. First off, Christmas Chronicles 2013 will be running. Those of you who did Christmas Chronicles last year, you'll know that it was very much a mixed media based class, and it was, we did a little bit of everything. We did a bit of sketching, we did a bit of planning, we did a bit of journaling, a little bit of writing, a little bit of all sorts of stuff. And this year is going to be very similar, except this year it's going to be style free. Haha. What I mean by style free is that rather than by the time you're finished you'll have a journal that'll look a lot like mine, the way we're going to work through it, actually by the time you're finished your journal will look completely unlike anybody else's. It will be absolutely unique to you and your family, and there's going to be no set way of, oh, we're going to use this type of book, this is how we're going to put it together, blah blah blah. If you want to use a big chunky heavy duty mixed media book like this with lots of pages so that you can carry on with it next year, then you can do that. That's no problem at all. Have at it. If you would rather use something a little simpler, this is my Midori style notebook, very kindly made for me by Ray Blake of My Life All in One Place. It's beautiful. If you would like to do a little simple system like this with 3 notebooks, then you can do that. If you want to make your very own Coptic bound journal, yes, you can do that too. So it's not going to be a case of, oh well, this is what you need to get and this is how you're going to do it, and you know, it's no. We're going to have a plan that will get us through to whatever holiday it is you celebrate or don't celebrate. It will get you through, at the very least, to the beginning of January, when you can say, thank goodness that's over for another year. Okay? If you have a big family, you can plan who's going where, what you're going to buy each other, what you're going to do when you get to wherever you're going, what you're going to cook, plan your meals in advance, everything. If you're like me, and you probably will most likely be sitting at home with your flatmate watching 16 versions of Christmas Carol, yeah, I love Scrooge, and walking the dogs on Christmas morning, then that's okay too. You can still plan what you're going to eat on Christmas Day. You can still plan what Christmas cards or letters you're going to write to your friends. You can still work out what you're going to buy the dogs for Christmas, okay? There's no excuses. None. And even if you don't have any planning to do for Christmas because you're one of those lucky people that somebody else does all the planning for you, you can still take part in the other parts of the journaling class, which are the sketching parts. Yes, we're going to sketch every single day. I don't care if you can't draw. Trust me, by the time we get to the end of the class, you'll be able to draw something. It might not be great, it might not be wonderful, but you'll be able to draw something, I promise you. Then we're going to have lots of prompts, and those are going to be to do with, well, again, you can interpret them in any way you like. I'll give you examples from last year. Last year we did it kind of Christmas Carol-ish, and we had the ghosts of past, present and future, which we split across the month. There were 12 prompts in all, and we did 3 about the past, 3 about the present and 3 about the future. Sorry, 4 of each. And it was up to you how you journaled them. If you wanted to use them as planning ideas, then you could. If you wanted to do them as scrapbook pages, you could. If you wanted to art journal them, you could. If you wanted to write about them, you could. If you wanted to do a bit of everything and put it all in together and do whatever you felt like, then that's how you could do it. So that's what we're going to aim for. We're going to aim to complete a journal of which, you know, the size and shape and everything else is entirely up to you. And we're going to aim to do that in December, with a view to getting through Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year, whatever it is you celebrate, don't celebrate, whatever. I'm a Yule girl personally, but you know, 'tis the season basically. And it is that time of the year when, you know, your planning is crucial, because without your plan, things can go horribly wrong, and you can be sat there on Christmas morning with the kids' toys and no batteries. We've all been there, admit it. I mean, I don't even have kids and I've been there. It's happened to everybody. So, yes, that is Christmas Chronicles 2013. It will start on the 1st of December. Registration is open now, and it's 31 days of journaling, planning, prompting, sketching, photo taking, decorating pages, whatever you want to do, however complicated or simple you want to make it. This complete month of journaling is going to be available to you for $25, and it's available right now. You can sign up right now, ready for December. I've already got quite a few people signed up already, willing to take the places and get organised and work out what they're going to do for the whole of December. So, you know, all you art journal addicts, journaling addicts, writing addicts, moleskin addicts, Midori addicts, Filofax addicts, just all you people who like to play with pretty stationery and nice stuff, you know you want to. And at the same time, organise and plan and still find time for your creative outlets, whether that is writing or painting or sketching or sticking washi tape to your Filofax pages. No matter how big or small it is that you want to do for that month, you can do it in this class. It's going to be a lot of fun. Last year we had people took the prompts and did them in completely different ways. We had one girl is a devout Christian, and she turned it into entirely a Christmas journal, 100% to do with scripture and her Bible studies and everything, but she still managed to incorporate all the bits and pieces that we were doing along the way. And you know, she didn't share all her pages because obviously with it being Bible study, some of it was very personal, but one of the examples she gave was planning the actual feast, and she went through looking for different references to food in the Bible, and you know, used that as an idea to put together her meal plan for Christmas Day. How awesome is that? Somebody else wrote an entire children's Christmas story based on the prompts and managed to get her family organised. It was genius. She was using the prompts for, you know, what you're planning to do today as prompts for what the family was doing. So if your prompt was writing down what presents you were going to buy the kids, then she was doing that, you know, mum and dad went shopping and the kids went shopping for mum and dad and all that kind of thing. It was just genius, absolute genius. We had other people who did 25 days of photographs and then finished it off with loads and loads of photographs of Christmas Day and, you know, all the grandparents, and somebody turned it into a family tree, which was just fantastic. As everybody came to visit, they got all the pictures and they turned it into a little family tree for Christmas, which I thought was just genius, absolutely genius. I don't like to teach classes where at the end of it you have a journal that looks exactly like mine. I don't even like to teach pages where at the end of it you have a page or a face that looks exactly like mine. However, for those of you who are already thinking, oh, I'd love to, but I can't draw. Oh, I'd love to, but I can't write. Oh, I'd love to, but I'm useless at planning. Oh, I'd love to, but it's just me on my own for Christmas, so there's no point. If it's just you on your own for Christmas, you've got plenty of time to journal. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. You can get out and about in your own little town. Take your doggy out and draw the Christmas lights. There's no excuses for not doing it, because it's can be tailored to whatever it is that you want to do. Even if you are the most miserable anti-Christmas Scrooge that exists on planet Earth, you could do a journal about how much you hate Christmas. Okay? Or you could plan your summer holiday in July. You know, you've already decide where you want to go, what you're going to pack, where you're going to eat, what you're going to visit, who you're going to go with, everything. You could do it in December, ready for July. Book your flights and everything. How about that? Yeah. So, there's a link down there. Whoops. Ooh, hands everywhere. There's a link down there that will take you to my website, where there will be a written version of what I've just told you that will explain a little bit better, probably, than my rambly what's-its, what we're going to be doing. And a PayPal link for those of you who are not members yet. You can sign up and join the class. Membership for my class site is manual only. If you want to, if you're already a member, you can go on the site and you can purchase the class on the site. You don't need to come through me. Just go to the site, look for Christmas Chronicles 2013, sign up, pay with PayPal, job done. If you are not a member of my site, then you need to buy through PayPal, and you need to provide me with your various information, and I'll get back to you on that. You know, when you've signed up and paid, I will come back to you and find out what username and email you want to sign up as, and then I set up your login. It's to get rid of spammers, so that I actually, and also so that I get a point of contact with you, because sometimes people sign up for classes and you don't hear from them ever. And I would like to at least have one conversation with all my students, even if it's only to say, hi, thanks for signing up, what's your email address? So yeah, that's December. And then in 2014, ooh, 2014 is going to be the year where you turn into a prolific journaler. Now, this is something that a lot of people want to do. A lot of people have the image in their heads of themselves sitting in cool little coffee shops writing in their journal, or down the park sketching in their books, or curled up on the sofa watching a film and doodling. And they never quite get there because somehow they've got stuck. Now, this ties in with a discussion that we had a few months ago about what I call the mixed media cash cow, where all of a sudden art journaling has become all about mixed media, and that's the only way you're supposed to do it, and blah 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 blah, and anybody who does anything a bit different, they're not classed as art journalers anymore. So, well, okay, if we're not going to be classed as art journalers anymore, let's just call ourselves journalers and get on with it, hey? There are people who want to include photographs in their journals, people who want to write prolifically, people who want to just learn to make the most of time that they have during the day, because they don't have 2 hours where they can sit around and muck around with paints. And what we're going to learn is, or relearn, is how to journal in a way that suits our needs. And if those needs include writing in the car while you're waiting for the kids to come out of school, or taking your journal with you and doing some cutting and pasting while you're sitting in the dentist's office waiting for your turn in the chair, or, you know, perhaps while the kids' TV is on, while their favourite programme is on, you can be sitting with them and, you know, planning what you're going to have for meals for the rest of the week. Again, like the Christmas class, it's going to be journaling, sketching, doodling, zentangling, collaging, washi taping, prompting, planning, organising, all sorts of things. We're going to cover all sorts of things. It's going to be a book about your life for an entire year. And if you are, you know, a lot of us, well, not me, because I don't do New Year's resolutions, but a lot of us will be starting to do New Year's resolutions very soon. We're starting to think about what we want to do. Awful lot of people are going to be giving up smoking or trying to lose weight, trying to get fit, trying to spend more time being creative, trying to spend more time with the kids, you know, also all these good intentions that you have in January. And, you know, if you include them in what you already do, you know, something that you already enjoy, then you are much more likely to succeed. If what floats your boat is having a lovely journal to carry around with you, and you're trying to convince yourself to get out and about more and visit more places, then perhaps writing in a really lovely journal that you absolutely adore is going to push you just that little bit to go, oh, well, I really want to write in my journal, so I'll pop down to that village and, you know, I'll just go and have a cup of coffee and have a little walk around, visit a couple of shops, and then I'll write about what I've done, or I'll sketch a place while I'm down there, or, you know, I'll take the dog out for a walk, and when I come back I'll record in my lovely planner, which I don't know what to do with because I've got 15 of them, and this one's just sitting here not being used. Said nobody ever. You know, if you've got a planner that's sitting around, put it to good use. Use this to record where you walked to, how far you walked, how many calories you burned, you know, couple it with a phone app and start, you know, mixing the two together so that you know where you've been, what route you took, how many calories you burned, whether you can have that chocolate dessert this evening, all that kind of stuff. Count your points. Yeah, we've all done Weight Watchers. Don't deny it. Record and plan your meals for the week if you want to. Perhaps take photographs. You know, perhaps if you're going to attempt to lose weight through eating healthy, you could use your journal as a way of recording some nice healthy recipes to try. And, you know, on one side put the recipe and then put a picture of your version of it and mark it out of 10. What did you think of it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Was it your fault? Could you have done something better with it? Did it need just a tiny bit of cheese on the top? Because everything's better with either cheese or chocolate at the end of the day. Perhaps you just need an organiser to organise all your organisers. Are you a YouTuber? Maybe you could use your journal for your organising your YouTube vlogs and videos and things, and cataloguing your ideas and planning your pages and things like that. If you're a teacher, perhaps you can use it for planning your classes, keeping a track of, you know, particular students who are doing well or doing badly. Now, obviously, you need to be careful about that because you can't use real names and things like that. But, you know, if you're a teacher, you already know all that stuff. You don't need me to tell you that. Maybe a little reminder, but you don't need me to tell you how to do it. You already know how to do it. I'm just going to be there to give you the ideas and to prompt you and to keep you going. And what we're going to end up with by the end of the year is a full diary. A full journal, a full planner. You might end up with a couple of full planners. It depends what you decide to use. I'm currently in love with my Midori's and Midori style notebooks, which, if you haven't seen them, there's a video somewhere on the setup and how I use them and everything. Maybe you will fill up one of these. Maybe you'll use both of these. Maybe you'll use both of these and your Filofax. Maybe you'll fill up all three of these in a year. Who knows? It's the focus of, how can I put it? I don't want to use the word manifesting because it sounds all hippy-dippy, but that's what we're we're going to do. It's all based on the idea that you don't dress for the job you have, you dress for the job you want. Okay? You don't act the way you feel, you act the way you want to feel. So if you're depressed, you act happy. And it helps lift your mood. Doesn't mean it's a cure for depression, don't be silly, but it helps lift your mood. If you want to be a high flyer in your job, then you take on some of the responsibilities and some of the characteristics of people who already have that job, so that you are more prepared to show that you can cope with it. It's hard to describe, but I suppose you could call it positive thinking, but it's not just standing there in the mirror going, I'm going to be wonderful, I'm going to get a promotion, yay, yay, yay. It's putting in the work as well, but it's using your journal as a tool to achieve that. This class is going to be unlike any other journaling class that you've done that has run for an entire year, because it's going to teach you about doing little and often. And that doesn't mean that you have to do little and often. If you would rather do all your stuff in one session in 2 hours when the kids have gone to bed, then that's fine, that's up to you. But instead of constantly putting things off because, oh, I want to write about that but I don't have time, there's nothing wrong with putting a note in your planner that you want to spend some time writing that, and then schedule that time. When have you got some time? Oh, you've got a long lunch on Friday. Okay, so go somewhere quiet, and during that long lunch, that's what you're going to do. You're going to take your journal with you, or a piece of paper if you don't want anybody asking you questions, and that's what you're going to write about. So you plan it into your life, and you plan it. You use it to plan your life, and then you plan your life around it as well. So it becomes a way of living rather than just a tack on that you do as an afterthought when you have time and when you're not too tired. It's going to be a new tool. And for those of you who, have dreams of shelves full of beautiful journals that you've put various bits of your life in and you can go back and look at anytime you want to, and those of you who've got albums full of photos that haven't been scrapped because you just can't be bothered to get all your bits and pieces and paraphernalia out to do proper scrapbooking, or you want to paint but you don't really want to go through all the hassle of getting everything out, and that's what it's for. That's what it's for. It's going to show you how you can still paint without having to spend an hour at your desk. You can still write 3 or 4 pages about a topic that really means something to you without having to find somewhere quiet to sit and write for a long block of time, and without having to be, Shakespeare. Most of us are not that great at writing or drawing or planning. Everybody's good at something, but it's very rare that anybody is good at everything. For me, it's planning. Well, no, not really. I'm good at the planning, I'm not so good at the execution. I can plan things to death, but actually getting them done, not so much. I'm good at writing and I'm good at art, but, actually following through and keeping going with things, I can be a little bit lazy. It has to be said, and I procrastinate a lot. So this class is going to be basically a little nudge every day. If you've ever been involved with a website called Fly Lady, who is like a planner, organiser, keeping your home immaculate kind of person, then you may be familiar with a similar kind of concept. The whole concept of doing a little bit, biting off little chunks at a time in order to manage to do a lot more than you would if you sat down for 4 hours and did something. Things expand to fill the amount of time we've got, and I'm going to provide you with various different ways of writing about something in however long you've got, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds, the time it takes to boil the kettle, however long it takes you to walk the dog, you know, we're going to be able to do that. We're going to learn a little bit of drawing, proper drawing, as in actually drawing and painting and things like that. But we're also going to learn how to sketch things and how to not care if it doesn't look exactly right, so that we capture what we feel about something as opposed to a beautiful photographic picture of what's there. You know, if you want a photograph, take a photograph, and then put that in. You know, we'll do some photography as well. We'll look at little tips and bits. I'm not an expert photographer by any stretch of the imagination, and I'm not particularly prolific. If anything, photography is where I let myself down, actually. But, you know, we can all learn together. We can all learn little tips and tricks that will help us to create photographs that are just that little bit special to us. They don't have to mean anything to anybody else. They don't have to be perfect. They're not going to win any competitions. It doesn't matter. When you look at that photograph or that sketch, or you reread that 3 or 4 lines entry that you wrote about a place that you went to, you'll remember being there. You'll remember how you felt. You'll remember who was with you, what you were doing. All sorts of things will come flooding back to you, and those memories are more journal fodder. They're more things that you can add, whether you add them at a later date or you use them for another entry or whatever. So yes, it's going to be an exciting year. I understand that it sounds a little bit vague, and also I'm very aware that I'm not showing you examples, but I can't show you examples. You might be planning a wedding. I'm not planning a wedding. You might be preparing to have a baby. Again, not happening here. You might be moving house. You might be moving to another country. You might be trying to lose weight. You might be trying to get fit. You might be aiming to run your first marathon. You know, you could be doing anything. All I want to do is journal. You know, I want to teach a class and I want to get other people doing the thing that I enjoy. And, you know, using all these lovely planners and filofaxes and books and things that we keep buying and never seem to use. Or, you know, we always want another one, don't we? And then we end up with 5 or 6 sitting on the shelf, empty, not being used for anything. So take your little neglected planner and dust it off and give it a facelift and, you know, poot along through the year, and at the end of the year you'll have a nice big thick chunky planner full of all sorts of stuff. Even if you only did 3 days a month, 3 of the prompts a month, okay, that's 3 pages in a month, that's 36 pages in a year. That is quite a big book. If you pick up 40 pages, your average exercise book is normally about 48 pages, 64 pages, something like that. So 3 or 4 prompts a month, you've filled an exercise book. Okay, 100 pages, even if you only did 1/3 of the entire prompts. So there's going to be lots and lots of prompts. There's going to be more than just 1 prompt a day. But even if you only did 100 of the prompts, you would fill a composition book by the end of the year. And if that's something that really appeals to you, that you would actually like to start using a journal as more integrated into your life, then this is where you want to start. Class starts January the 1st, obviously, and it will run right the way through to December 31st next year. And you can sign up now. You can already sign up. Early bird discount is currently available for those of you who want to sign up. If you're a member, please check out the September newsletter that went out on the 4th of September, because there is an extra discount for existing members. If you're not a member yet, you can still get an early bird discount because the whole class is available for $99 right now. $99 for an entire year's worth of prompts, where you're going to be prompted to write, sketch and plan every single day for a year. That's like over 1,000 prompts for $99. That's a lot of prompts. And you can pick and choose what you use. You can use all of them, you can do none of them, you can just use them as ideas, you can pop them all in a big jar and, you know, think about it later. And the whole class is going to be set up so that you can take as long or as little time as you want every single day. So if today all you've got is 5 minutes, because you have to go to bed early, so you're just going to spend 5 minutes before you go to sleep, then that's how long you spend on your prompts. And if you've got 2 hours because you're going to meet a friend in town and you happen to get there early, then you can spend 2 hours. You know, go to your library or a coffee shop or sitting in a corner of a pub or something and spend your 2 hours with your journal. Or spend 1 hour with your journal and go and do something else for the other hour that you can journal about later, because let's not forget, there's no point in only journaling. You have to live too. Otherwise, you have nothing to journal about. So, yeah, if you want to sign up, link is below as well. And the 2 classes together, the $99 class is the year class for 2014. The $25 class is the Christmas class for getting organised for Christmas. But if you want to do the 2 together, you can save a little bit of cash. It's $120 for the 2. That's 13 months of journaling, 3 prompts a day at least, plus classes. And it's not even a class that you can get behind in, because it is impossible to get behind in it, because if all you've got is 5 minutes to write in your journal that week, then that's how long it takes you to do the prompts. And if you've got more time, then you can spend more time. You can have extra prompts to work on. So there is no excuses, absolutely no excuses for not doing it. You will definitely be able to fill a journal with the prompts that you're going to be given, even if you only have a couple of minutes a day to work with it, because I'm going to show you how you can do it. So I hope to see some of you there, all you planner addicts and journal addicts and writing and painting addicts. Come along and, you know, pick up some new skills. We'll do some photography, we'll do some sketching, we'll do some proper drawing, we'll do some painting, we'll learn how to ink pictures and things. There will be collage elements for those of you who are not happy about making your own stuff, or, you know, you can use magazines or whatever. Any way you want to do it, you can do it. Even if you don't like to write anything by hand. Some people just don't like to write by hand, but they want to journal. Well, that's fine. You can journal online. There are tools that you can journal online and print it out, and then, you know, you can keep your journal online and you can decorate it, or you can print it out and plan it, or whatever. There is no end to the possibilities of how you could utilise this class to get through an entire year of journaling. The class is going to be called When Frogs Sing, and there is a very specific story behind that, so if you want to know more, click on the link and come and join us. Hope to see you soon. Bye!